Madame Gazelle's class, scary episode. Hi, I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George. Today I'm going to school. George won't be in this episode, it's just me. And something very strange. When I got to class, everything looked different. The windows were covered with thick, black curtains. The lights flickered and Madame Gazelle stood perfectly still by her desk. She didn't smile. She didn't blink. We all sat down quietly. Something about her felt wrong. "Children," Madame Gazelle said, her voice deeper than usual. "Today's lesson is transformation." She turned to the chalkboard, but instead of numbers or letters, it was covered in strange symbols. I didn't recognize any of them. Then she picked up a piece of chalk and drew a large black circle in the center of the board. As she drew, I heard whispering. Behind me, software low, close. I turned. No one was there. "Peppa," she said suddenly, staring at me. "Would you like to go first?" "Me?" I asked. She nodded slowly. "Come to the front." I didn't want to, but I stood up. The room felt colder, dimmer. As I walked to the board, I noticed the other children weren't moving. Their eyes were wide, their smiles too still. I reached the circle. Madame Gazelle leaned in close and whispered, "Touch it." I hesitated, but my hand moved on its own. The moment I touched the circle, everything went black. Silence. Then light returned, but everything was wrong. The classroom was broken, the walls cracked, the lights buzzed, the windows showed only darkness. No sun, no sky, and the children. They were still in their seats, but they weren't children anymore. Their faces were too long, their mouths too wide. Their eyes were empty. They were staring at me. In the center of the room stood a mirror. I don't know where it came from, but I walked toward it. I didn't want to, but I had to. I looked inside. My reflection was smiling, but I wasn't. Its eyes were pitch black. Its mouth was too big. It had teeth I didn't remember. I shook my head, but the reflection didn't copy me. It raised its hand and pointed behind me. I turned. Madame Gazelle was floating above the ground. Her face was gone, only shadow. Her arms stretched unnaturally long. They wrapped around me. I screamed and woke up, back in my seat. Lights normal, board clean, math problems. Madame Gazelle smiled sweetly. "Peppa, can you solve the problem on the board?" I stood slowly. Something wasn't right. I looked around. Everyone was smiling. Everyone. But their eyes, they didn't blink. At the back of the room, I saw the mirror. And in it, I was still smiling. Then we started drawing. Madame Gazelle handed us sheets of paper and crayons. "Draw how you see yourself," she said, "but not in the mirror." On the inside, I didn't understand what she meant, but Susie started drawing right away. She barely blinked and kept whispering. I looked at my paper. There was already something drawn on it. My eyes, but without pupils, and a mouth stretched in a wide smile. "I didn't draw this," I said. "Of course not," said Madame Gazelle. "This is you from within." Someone giggled behind me. I turned around. No one was there. Then Susie stood up. She held her drawing with both hands. It wasn't her on the paper. It was Madame Gazelle, but with Susie's eyes. My crayon snapped in half. "Wonderful," said the teacher. "You've all truly opened up today." We went outside for recess. The door slammed behind us. I heard the lock click. No one else came out of the classroom.